There is a tremendous number of techniques to catch bass. Largemouth, smallmouth, and spotted bass can exhibit various moods based on water temperature, weather, water clarity, and seasonal time frame. Jerkbaits are one of those must-have baits for any serious bass angler. Crankbaits, spinnerbaits, topwater lures all have a time and place when you're hunting aggressive fish. Drop shotting, stickworms, Ned rigs, and swim baits are all important presentations every bass angler needs in their arsenal for finesse fishing on the opposite end of the spectrum. Last but not least is the hair jig. Hair jigs have been around for a long time. Large preacher bucktail and chicken feather jigs have been popular for deep ledge fishing throughout the Mid-South reservoirs since the 1950s. In more recent years, hairballing has become extremely popular throughout the Great Lakes region and anywhere bass swim. Let's join Al and Troy Lindner in sharing some insights on the straightforward and effective presentation to catch smallmouth and largemouth bass.
Little tiny hair. Sometimes that's the best thing these big smallies will be on. Ooh, got him, Troy.
Yeah?
Another big one. Woo, another big fish.
Big largemouth, probably?
I'm not sure. I don't know. If it's a smallie, she's 4 or 5. Here's she coming up. Oh boy, she's a good one though. Big fish, boy.
Off that tree?
Yeah.
Nice.
Big fish.
That's a bucktail with the swim bait?
Yeah. I mean, they like it, man. I'm telling you. Another big largemouth. Holy mackerel. Holy mackerel. Yeah, no, it's really interesting. Troy and I, we've been on our, oh, let me get this baby in here. Just another monster. I got to show you this baby. Look at that one again. on that original pair-headed bucktail jig. They love this thing. Hey, those of you that fish south in cold water, you got to fish some of these things for your bass. I mean, this is a killer bait for big largemouth like this. A lot of people don't even think about it. But Troy and I have been on kind of a mini vacation up here in Wisconsin.
There, big fish, big bass. Oh yeah, oh man, did he hammer it.
And we've been poking. Last 4 days we fished 7 lakes. Yesterday we did a lot of largemouth fishing on one lake. We did some smallmouth fishing in another lake. We caught some smallmouth, so really good largemouth. But we've been hodgepodge. We're fishing smallmouth. We did a little crappie fishing and largemouth. That's what we're targeting. We're just jumping around on the different lakes, having a good time, doing what we love to do, explore a little bit. So we're having a good time and catching a lot of fish. You know, this time of the year, if you're going out to explore water that you've never explored before, for largemouth, smallmouth, whatever, spring of the year, you know, when that water starts getting like, 50-ish, the magic number is 50, we're there now. It's a good time to get on any kind of lakes because you got a lot of fish that are moving up into shallow water, and the fish are getting really active at that temperature range. And it's a great time to learn what the lake has to offer as far as quality. Quality largemouth, quality smallmouth, quality crappie, quality walleye. And that's what we do a lot of. We do lake hopping just to learn what a lake is like. Yeah, you know, and then sometime, and I use them for filming at another point in time. So we're double dipping.
You see here on the Humminbird with this Lake Master chip, the great contours here. You have this nice little funnel inside here. We're kind of spot-locked here. You got big boulders here, you got a tree here, and this is north facing in the spring, so this is going to warm up a little bit more than other parts of the lake. And this time of year, and this area specifically, excellent.
This little funnel area, when these fish come out of their deep wintering holes, the largemouth, they'll go back in here. Some of the smallmouth, there's rock fingers in that. They'll go all into these back bays and pick up pieces of wood. That's where they're going when they leave here. Right now at 50 degrees, 49, 50 degrees, they're kind of staging, getting ready to go in and get a little bit shallower. These little funnel areas are just like magic, you know, when you know where they're at. Got him. Good fish. Yeah, this is a big one, Troy, real big one.
Yeah,
Well, she was down there deep.
I saw that. Near the bottom.
I don't think this is a smallmouth. If it is, it's a fiver. And there's
Yeah.
some in here of that size. Now she's coming up. Oh yeah, she's a big
small-
big largemouth.
Big largemouth.
Yeah,
Ooh,
real big largemouth. Ooh,
wow.
yeah. Come here. Boy, you're a nice one. Take you, young lady. Woo! Look at that fish, huh? I'll throw in that hair jig. Boy, that's a big bass, huh? I bet you need a still of that, Troy.
Yeah,
We got to
really
get a
quick.
still of that. Yeah, you know, I went down. This is the original VMC hair jig with a little boot tail on the back of it. Yeah, you know, and we get some big smallmouth on this thing when they go a little bit deeper. But boy, oh boy, that's a good one.
Okay, hold it up, and then in slightly.
Boy, that was a big fish, boy. Woo!
Wow.
Go, mama. You never know what you're gonna catch when you're throwing hair jigs around, that's for sure. But I mean, hair jigging day in and day out, especially for smallmouths, is deadly. There's 3 hair jigs that we use a lot of. This one here that I just caught that monster largemouth on, and I'll probably get some good smallmouth on it today when I go a little bit deeper, is the original VMC Bucktail Jig. And look at, it's a pear-shaped head. See that? And it's weight forward. It's weighted heavily on the front end and it drops really fast. But one of the most important things about this jig is the fish is really good in rocks and doesn't snag much. And sometimes I use it just plain, the plain black hair or white or some different colors. But a lot of times they just put a little boot tail on it. You know, it's a killer in the hair jig family. Then, day in and day out, tough bite conditions, the VMC original Marabou Jig, this little finessey thing. You've been following anything in the world of smallmouth for a long time. You know how deadly this little black jig is on smallmouth. And when smallies are eating bugs in particular, you know, during hatches and that, this particular hair jig, this finesse black hair jig, is dynamite. It's an absolute killer. And then you got the new VMC Moon Tail Jig. Big eyeball on it. Yeah, you know, 4 inches, a bunch of different kind of colors, an outstanding hook design. And initially, we did this bait for walleyes. Well, lo and behold, smallmouth like it too. You fish it the same way you do the standard other hair jigs. A lot of just cast and reel, real slow through the water column. Yeah, you could jig it too, but the smallies really like it when you're swimming it. Those 3 families of hair jigs need to be in your tackle box if you're an avid smallmouth fisherman and a cold water, deep water bite for finessing big largemouth, and it'll probably catch some spots. I'm not sure of that, but I would bet they do.
Yeah, what's nice about this VMC Moon Tail is 2 different techniques. When I'm fishing smallmouth, pretty much just casting it out in kind of that slow pull, that slow reel. And then for walleye, using a snap jigging technique. And it is interesting, you know, you're triggering a lot more walleye with that snap jigging than with the slow roll. You're triggering smallmouth.
Oh, got another one, Troy. Another one of those monsters, man. They're living in this tree. Look at it, another donkey. Holy mackerel, we're in a mother load of big largemouth. Yeah, we came here to do a little smallmouth fishing, but we're double dipping. That's the beauty of this time of the year. You know, boy, you can catch some big fish. Yeah. You want to put on a hair jig with a little boot tail? You're going to keep catching the smallmouth, and I'm going to go back in here and keep catching a big bunch of largemouth like that. Oh man. What started off as a small, whoa. Another good one, huh? What started off as a smallmouth bite, you know, led into a largemouth bite. But I tell you, again, the 3 hair jig styles, it just goes to show you how deadly they are in a right, each one has a right place at the right time. Each and every one of them. Oh, I got to get a new boot tail out.
Yeah, they're all in on the
got it.
hair where you don't
Small
get bit
mouth.
on anything else.
Off
On
of
the
rocks.
bucktail,
That'll be a smallie off of the rock side.
they really like that bigger.
Yeah, big brown bass.
They're liking that bigger profile.
Oh. We've been, I mean, like I said a couple times, we've just been having a ball doing this. Chasing browns, chasing blacks, getting a little of everything. Now this baby, again, some of the colors on this new Moon Tail hair jig, these smallies love this thing, just like the walleyes do. It's quickly becoming my all-time favorite hair jig on a regular basis. Absolute killer. But each one of them has got a time and a place. You know, I got to talk a little bit about the rod I'm using. This is a Victory Series rod from St. Croix. And this particular one is a 610 medium light power, extra fast action. And St. Croix introduced this Victory Series rods last year, and it's been an incredible success. The whole Victory Series is targeted at largemouth bass, smallmouth bass, and spotted bass, all bass centered. Now I do a lot of spinning rod and reel combination fishing, light line fishing, so I love this particular rod. I just spot locked here again. My favorite reel in the last few years has been this Kage from Daiwa. This is the Kage LT 2500 XH, and it's becoming my favorite spinning reel for all my bass fishing right now. They come in a variety of different sizes. In the old school, the drags were so bad years ago, you learn to back reel. You don't have to do this. Daiwa has done an amazing job in open face spinning reels in the last 5-6 years, covering the market. And the new Kage series, it's a winner. It's a winner, man. You'll love it. You know, you can't really tell how bad the wind is because I'm kind of tucking away from it. But every once in a while I get in the area, I poke a fish like this, I hit spot lock, doom, 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 fan cast around it, and a lot of times I'll get 1 or 2 more, just boom, boom, boom. That spot lock is one of the most amazing tools that ever came on the scene.
Yeah, when you're up here throwing hair for smallies, very visual. A lot of the waters, it's clear. You can see down, and you want to see down as far as you can. And a good pair of sunglasses like these from Wavy Label is absolutely important because you're looking for boulders, you're looking for followers that come in, and this is not only eye protection, but this is helping you see and find fish.
Oh, I had him. He hit it. You could see the rocks. You see the rocks coming now.
Boy, that was at the. This is my second back-to-back fish on here. When you're spot locked down in a good area, especially when you're on these boulder flats like this, and I can see in the side imaging, even we're sitting still and kind of swinging around here, I can see all these big boulders out there. And then that gives you the confidence just to throw kind of anywhere. Ooh, nice one. This one's got a little bit, well, he's got a little more attitude. He's not as big as the other ones, but he's got a lot more attitude. Yeah, come here. Yeah, just like my dad said, like I said, pretty much every single time when you get them like this, they're always pretty much in the top of the mouth. It makes for, you know, really easy to get the hooks out like that. Nice color on. There. Ooh, was right on top. You know, it doesn't seem like a little one.
Another junior.
But they're, this one I could probably flip. Actually,
When you get used to using 360 imaging and seeing everything that's happening around you, every piece of cover, some big fish moving in and out, it spoils you. It spoils you. We're like in the middle of a pot of smallmouth all around. It's smallmouth heaven, Troy.
Oh, that was all. I basically just threw it out there and I didn't even think. I think it was dropping down, and that fish just hit, I think, on the fall. And it just picked it up, and it just started. The line just started screaming. Yeah, this drag, and oh, that one actually came up and jumped. I haven't seen that. This is such a great drag system. These Daiwas and this Kage. And this one is another nice one. Another nice one. Oh yeah, come here. Oh yeah. Yeah, this one actually, come here. Whoops. Can't boat flip them when they get this big. Here's another really nice one. Look at that again, once again, we say every time, right in the top. Those VMC hooks pin the fish. You pin the fish so well with this. They can jump all they want and they don't come off. Look at that. Okay, there you go, chunky. Yeah, I have I got a ton of confidence in this little, in this little marabou jig, not only for smallmouth bass. I throw this for trout and fishing everywhere from the Southwest into the upper Midwest and even into Canada, for smallmouth bass, for, rainbow trout, brook trout. This thing is absolutely killer, and it's so easy to fish. That's what makes it great.
Okay.
There. Yeah, that's a good one. Well, yeah, that one right up on top. Monster. This is yeah, nice. I got lighter line on this one. I use a 6-pound leader when I'm throwing the little marabou, a smaller marabou. There, I gotta lift even these little ones. I don't want to flip them. Right in the top. Usually when you get them with this marabou, they're right in the top of the mouth like that. Pop it off, but this is just one of the family of VMC hair jigs that's just extremely effective. All right, so for hair jig and 6-pound, most part I use 6-pound fluorocarbon leader, 10-pound braid main line, and a pretty long, this one I think I retied a couple times. I usually a 6-foot, even a 6-foot to even 10-foot leader on here. And you can go monofilament, but I do prefer, when I'm throwing hair jigs, I do prefer fluorocarbon, Suffix advanced fluorocarbon, 6-pound, and then like a Suffix either 131 or 832,
yeah.
10-pound.
Oh, got him, Troy. Feels like a fair one.
Yeah?
Oh yeah. Feels good. Yeah, it's not a bad one.
Sounds good.
It feels good. Whoa. There was another one with him.
Yeah?
Yeah. I really go light on this baby. Come here, baby. Ah. Whoa.
Right on top.
Look at that. That's how, just the tip of their nose. Give me my little baby hair jig. Now that's a good one. Little tiny hair. Sometimes that's the best thing these big smallies will be on. Hey, I'm here again with my nephew Dan. And Dan and I have spent many years working together. I really don't even know how many years.
I can tell you, because I did the math a little bit earlier today. I've been producing television shows for 32 going on 33 years. And as a matter of fact, the first one I did was you and Troy up in Canada catching northern pike, and I was 16 years old, and I was in the office running around, and Jim said, well, why don't you make yourself useful and edit a television show? And I'm like, well, I don't know. And so he goes, shows me how to do tape to tape, and sure enough, he comes back and he goes, with a little bit of tweaking, that could go to air. Next thing you know, I'm a TV producer. But anyways, being in this business, I'm very aware or sensitive to things. And I was watching this documentary on HBO, this sports documentary, and this reporter was in there and she got startled by a snake, and she jumps back and goes, Jesus Christ! And they left that in there. They didn't bleep it out. And later on in this series, they bleeped out more common swear words. And I was always raised not to blaspheme, you know, and that was just part of how we grew up. But I just thought it was interesting that they would leave the Lord's name, blasphemy, in there, and they would take out these other common swear words, you know. It just touched on my heart.
Yeah, you know, as a person of faith, when you hear that, it does pierce your heart. You know, we make a living in the fishing industry, and we may have quite a cast of characters we work with, to say the least. Some of them a little bit rough around the edges, and their vocabulary is
Loose.
pretty streetish and loose. That doesn't bother me. But when somebody takes the name of the Lord in vain, it really touches my heart, and I'll say something about it. And I'm glad to see you're sensitive to those things. Hey, from all of us here at The Edge, you have a good, safe fishing season. We'll see you on the water.